Hey everybody, it's Jack from S10 here. I wanted to thank y'all for coming here today and watching this video so far. I want to ask you guys, if you like the video, just go ahead and tap on that thumbs up at the bottom. Maybe drop a comment about what you liked about it. If you don't like it, that's okay. Give me a thumbs down. Drop me a comment on what you didn't like. Maybe we can change some things. If you do like what's going on, maybe consider subscribing to the channel so you can see future content, and also hit that notification bell. Choose all notifications. That way you know when a new video comes out. Thank you guys very much. All right, today we're going to talk a little bit about some progress I've gotten done on the Blazer and a little bit of safety with some of the things I've been doing here. So first off, just wanted to show you guys, it did start raining on me, but before bad weather started rolling in, I did actually start getting some 415 on the frame. In the front, I've got it completely stripped down. Everything's starting to look really good up here. One thing that's really strange is this frame is completely full of dirt, and I have no idea why. Is this something I've just never noticed before on a vehicle or what? Right here is the main focus I want to talk about today. Alright, so what I'm here to talk about with that frame is the fact that I went about using a grinder to take those bump stops off. Now guys, the grinder is something to not take lightly. There is an absolute reason they call it the death wheel. And not only is it an immediate danger to you if a disc breaks or slips and hits your hand or something, and of course in those situations you want to use some kind of protective goggles or face shield and some leather gloves, but that grinder can also do some things that won't come back until later on to haunt you and hurt you. Good example is some shoddy framework I found online. Now I'm going to show you guys a picture of that here in just a little bit. But I want to stress, no matter how careful you are with a grinder, you could always make a mistake. It could always slip. Something bad can always happen. If you don't believe me, head on over to Wrong Way Garage and check out Johnny Mac's video on this, because he was being careful and he accidentally cut his gas tank. Luckily, he was smart enough to know, shut that grinder off and get his hand in the grinder away from the gas tank as fast as possible. But let's take a look at what I did and see how I went about this to keep my frame from splitting in half in the future. I don't have this completely done yet because there is some still hanging out right here and on the bottom, but I wanted to show you guys exactly how I went about removing my bump stops, because when some people do this, they get really sketchy. For example, let's take a look at that right now. If you notice right there, whoever did that put cuts across into the frame and down. Now those straight cuts are going to end up doing stress cracks. Anytime that you make a cut in a frame, the end of each cut needs to actually be drilled, so it's not a 90-degree curve. It needs to be rounded so it doesn't stress crack out. If you notice, there are some places I've gotten right against the frame. Now, I did not, at any point, I did not cut in this way. What I did is I took my grinder, this, if you're familiar with the S10 bump stops, it's kind of got a little split in the center that doesn't go all the way up and doesn't go all the way down. What I did with that split is I kind of cut it up to almost this point, and then I started cutting downward with the grinder on these edges. Now by going down with the grinder and sideways with it instead of going in, I avoided any possibility of actually cutting the frame. Now it is still a little bit rough underneath, and when I take this rear end out, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up under here, and I don't know if you guys can see that really well. That's actually the first time I've seen under there. But I'm gonna go in there and do a couple cuts to get the remaining part of that out. All right, so that's it for this video, guys. Remember, be absolutely careful when you are working on a frame, working with any kind of tools that can injure you or cause you injury down the road. Guys, my name is Jack. Thanks for watching Ostentatious. Have yourself a great week.